Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, and bots of all programming languages, HTML, Java, C++, Flash, whoever you are, whatever you are, welcome to the channel. Today, we're talking about why you shouldn't invest into Pokemon or collectibles or trading card games. Now, if you want the too long didn't watch, too long didn't read, it's because most people have a lack of strategy slash plan, unforeseen effort or cost when it goes into getting rid of whatever they're investing or collecting or whatever it may be, the FOMO or peer pressure of seeing it or knowing people that are doing it, seeing in the media, social media, whatever it may be. Because of conventional assets, for most people it's better just to invest high yield savings, stocks, bonds, real estate, conventional stuff rather than alternative asset classes. And liquidity. It's not as easy as, say, a stock or just click of a button. There's a little bit more that goes into it. So that was a too long didn't read or too long didn't want to watch. Now let's get into the actual longer conversation. So why you shouldn't invest in Pokemon or trading card games or collectibles, sealed product, whatever it may be, that's not, marked as conventional. So I have these different bullet points and things that we're going to talk about today, and yes, of why most people shouldn't. They see it and they want to, or they go into it, but maybe most people shouldn't, or they don't look into it or do enough research for it. So the first thing I want to talk about is most people have a lack of strategy or plan going into it. So if they want to go into a collectible or Pokemon cards or sealed product or graded cards or another card game or collectibles, usually they go in it or see it, or they see all the hype surrounding it. They see, social media posts, even mainstream media of all this money or things selling for exorbitant prices. And then, they just get in it fast, not really with a strategy or plan, or maybe they tell themselves, hey, I'm investing, which, is 5 or plus years. Everything else is short term or speculation. So people might tell themselves, hey, I'm investing, but then when it comes down to it, they sell. I think the average person is in a hobby for 6 to 18 months, 6 to 12 months. So usually people, they'll say they're investing and they don't follow through with their plan, or they don't have a plan to begin with. They kind of buy product or sealed boxes, or they get these cards and then they don't really know what to do with them after. It's easy just to say, type it out online or before entering, oh yeah, I'll buy it and then I'll just sell it, and then leave it at that. Like, sell it, okay, but do you know how to sell it? Where to sell it, or where you're going to sell it, or what platform sell it, depending on your item. So there's a lot more than just saying, oh, I'm gonna sell it. It's, where are you gonna sell it, how are you gonna sell it, are there fees, efforts, kind of into our next bullet points. There's a lot more than just typing or seeing, oh yeah, just buy the product, then you could sell it later for 5x. It's not just like a stock where you have a brokerage account and can just, click and then, stock sold, open market, a lot more liquidity. It's electronic as opposed to these. You have the physical amounts. Now, they have these NFTs out there, which are, actual ownership of, say, an art piece or a card. I haven't done that. I mean, I guess you could consider NFTs like how eBay does the PSA Vault. Those are kind of considered NFTs because that, not picture, but proctor, you don't have it, but electronically, you have it on there. You own that card or whatever it is. So PSA Vault is somewhat like NFTs, but it's actually back behind that card, if that makes sense. That could be confusing. That could be a video too, kind of going into crypto and everything on that. But yeah, so most people, they don't have a strategy or plan going into it. They make it sound simple, but then they don't actually look into it or do the research or how they're going to sell it or market prices, or conventions. Everything, has a cost, whether it's in person or you're selling it online. So, and most people don't, factor this stuff in of how they're gonna sell it. They, get in, buy whatever, card, sealed product, other collectibles, antiques, whatever it may be, and then, oh yeah, I'm just gonna sell it. Well, where are you gonna sell it? How do you know they're gonna want to pay market price? Is it the actual intended customer base that you want to reach, or is it just random people that don't really know, but oh, if they get a good deal, then they're gonna try to sell it later? So it's, the market, especially like physicality. Are you somewhere that's more rural? Are you in a city? If you plan to do it in person, or online shipping cost if you're overseas, another country, whatever. Maybe there's a lot of factors that go into it that a lot of people don't realize at first or really consider when they tell themselves or say, hey, I'm investing in this. Now collecting it, if you want to just collect it and keep it, that's different, but still like selling it later on. Even with collecting, some people might say, oh, it's just for my collection for now, but I'm going to sell it later on, and then kind of they don't really look past the buying or collecting or taking ownership and control of that product. So it kind of ties in with the other bullet points, so I'm going to kind of touch on a few as we go on, or relate them back to each other. Kind of with the lack of strategy and plan, the unforeseen effort and cost. So I mentioned it a little bit, but whether you're selling on eBay, online, these other auction or buy it now or electronic, have your own site, Shopify, whatever it may be, there's fees and cost associated, whether the platform that you're selling on takes fees, payment processing fees, taxes, and then shipping the product, and then the effort of actually, getting the product, packing it up, getting the shipping materials, because a lot of people think getting shipping materials will be really cheap, but if you just go to a random store and you want to buy, say, a box or bubble mailer, that could already be a couple dollars, before you get any bubble wrap or things if you need it, or shipping paper, things like that. So it could almost be another $5-6 on top of your shipping already if you don't have a way to get shipping materials, or you don't kind of plan out how you're going to get these things to actually ship out that product. And then same with in person, if you're going to a show or convention, you have the fuel cost, eating if you're staying, if it's far away, if you need a hotel, if it's a flight, transporting the cards, the sealed product, whatever it may be. And then in person or at shows, even if you meet locally, the people, they'll see the online prices, they might not want to pay the online prices because they know in person, cash price, because people, cash is king. If I have cash, would you do less, questions like that. So you'll still be getting maybe a little bit less than, say, a box or sealed product is at $150. In person they might say, oh, would you take $130 or $140, kind of, because they know too you're not having to pay those online fees, you're getting the cash, it's right then, you don't have to wait for it to transfer to your account. So there's a lot of different variables that go into that. And a lot of people, it doesn't seem like it seems like they realize all the cost and effort it's going to take. Then when it comes down to it, it's a lot more than they thought, and then they get fed up, and then oh, I don't want anything more to do with this, selling everything, and then they're selling things at a loss and saying, oh, investing or collecting or making money on it doesn't work, when they didn't really have a strategy to begin with. They kind of went in blind, just slashed around, slapping the bushes, and nothing really happened for them because they didn't have a strategy, they didn't follow it. And then also in my other video I mentioned, even if some people do have a strategy, say they see another video or creator or I don't know, something on social media, mainstream media, that is contrary or puts their opinion or belief into question, some people, it seems like they just throw their opinion out and just follow, oh, it said it on social media, or there was a news article, or this person made a video on it, so, it must be true, I'm not gonna, look any more into it. I'm just gonna take that as fact and, stick by it, and everything else that wasn't associated with it, I'm gonna, sell it, remove it, whatever it may be. And that kind of leads into the FOMO and peer pressure. And just make sure we are still live and recording, which we are. Perfect. Kind of leads into FOMO and peer pressure, where they see their friends or people they know or people they follow on social media or mainstream media. They see people buying all these things, or investing or collecting and making money and flipping and making so much money and, whatever. Then they see that and they want to get in. They get in so fast, kind of leading back to my first point of buying and getting in, or saying they're investing, collecting, and then kind of not looking past that. Like, oh, I have this, I want to sell it, but this product I got isn't really in demand. So even though market price is this, if I actually want to sell it, I have to list it like $5 or $10 below market price. And shipping and fees, I'm like losing 25-30%, or depending on the product, just rough example, 25-30% of my investment on this product or whole sealed position or card or other collectible trading card game, whatever it may be. And then they say, oh, this is used, why'd I ever do this, this is stupid, kicking themselves. And same with products and seeing released now. I made another video and a couple shorts, prismatic evolution, say it's $100 a box right now and you buy it. If in 3, 6, 9 months that $100 box goes to $50 or $60, are you going to still like the product? Are you going to still enjoy it? Are you still going to be happy with it? Or every time you look at it, you just think, oh, this is losing me money, I'm down on this position, kicking yourself, saying you should have waited. So if it is, you might not be entering for the right reasons at that time. Now, if you just want to collect it and you don't care, you just want for enjoyability, open it, whatever it may be, then that's okay. But you might want to reconsider if that does happen. Not saying it will happen in the future, but if it does, which we have seen with sets in the past, some sets we have seen more of a drop, some sets not as much, just kind of stabilization. It varies too on the products, I've noticed, and general supply and demand principles. And so they get this FOMO of, oh, all these other people are doing it and I must be the only person not doing it and not gaining from this, or this, and then they get in really fast and they buy, or maybe they buy at the peak of the hype, the euphoria, when Bitcoin or cryptos or a booster box or a set is at all-time highs, and then they think they're gonna keep gaining money. Everyone else has been saying so. They've seen videos and other people saying, oh, this is you can't lose money in this, it's to the moon. And then next thing you know, it drops and they barely spend any time in it, and they look or they check in and say, oh, I'm just constantly losing money, then sell out and just want nothing else to do with it. And they don't give it a real try because they don't have a strategy, or they don't follow it, or take other people's and not doing their own research, and just kind of wanting the easy way, the quick money and quick and easy money without putting in any effort or work into it. And then with that, that's why conventional assets, they have a lot less work and effort that goes into it. For example, just a high yield savings account, stocks or bonds or real estate, whatever it may be, that's people label as conventional. And it's easier, like I was saying earlier, with just the click of a button. You could sell a stock or move money from your savings account or whatever investment yielding account you have. And some, not always, just rough example, some you have to pay fees or locked in for a certain amount, so you have a CD, certificate of deposit, or other things along those lines. But for most people, I feel conventional assets, they'd be happier with in the long term. Less effort, less cost, less hassle to them. Because a lot of people now, I feel like, especially in our age, there's a lot of consumerism, but also minimalism as well, where people are just minimizing. They don't want anything, nothing physical, just not bare minimum, but reducing all their what they call junk and other things, which also, that's why at garage sales you might find things like that, or thrifting, or people getting rid of valuable items just because they don't want it, don't want anything else to do with it. They don't care if they could sell a lamp or antique whatever for $100 or $200. They just don't want to look at it anymore. They've had it for so many years, maybe it was passed down, they just want to get rid of it. So there's a lot of situations like that where it might seem almost bizarre that they're doing that, but some people are just, I've been there at times, not with, crazy things, but just they're mostly giving away or to other people, like, or, a couple of pieces of furniture in the past that were still nice, like, I don't want to move it, it's nice, here you want it, or good friend, family, whatever it may be. So a lot of people with the physical things and collectibles trading card games can get that way, especially if, like I was saying earlier, they're just losing money, losing their capital of what they call an investment, that they've only been in for a couple months or a couple weeks, and then they don't see it doing anything. So they just either panic sell or get rid of it all, I don't want to see this anymore, and just move on to the next thing where, conventional assets, if they were just in there, had high yield savings or stocks, would have been a lot better for them. Even in that, say, a couple weeks or months, maybe it was better if they just had it in a savings account. At least they got a couple percent rather than, buying the product, waiting for it, dealing with all of that. And, it happens. But that's why with it too, you have to have a strategy of if you're collecting or investing, and it will help you much more in the long run, and to see more action with it, see more returns, and kind of see it play out. You need to give your strategy time as well. That's another thing I could have written on here is time. When you do have a strategy, either both in stocks, conventional assets, or unconventional, give it time, give your strategy time to play out. Because I'm sure many have made this mistake, and I have as well, of, say, having a strategy and then only trying it for so long and not working, and then kind of same with Proctor, what I was saying before, only trying it for so long and then just moving on to the next thing, trying to find something else, where if just gave it time or expanded the time horizon, zoomed out, instead of looking at the hourly chart, you're looking at the daily or weekly chart, and seeing the bigger movements of things. So yeah, a lot of time, people letting their strategy or plan, giving it more time to play out, maybe than originally they thought, because some things take longer than, especially with varying market conditions, especially as we've seen going from the bear market to bull market, and various swings, various volatility, and other things like that. It's been a wild ride where some things have done really well and other things have crashed, or not crashed. Some things have crashed, and then other things have just been stable, not doing anything, where you think they would have been doing really well. Even some companies, some stocks too. But leading to my last point is the liquidity, where most people, they need the liquidity. Say they have a expensive collectible or set or sealed box or trading card game or card, graded card, sports card, whatever it may be, and they want to sell it or they need cash. Well, you can't just click a button and, sell that stock or transfer it to your account. If you want to sell it fast, most cases you might have to lower your price to, below market price or even below that, for it to sell quickly. Because even if you do lower the price, it might not sell that day or even 2 days, depending on the demand, how many people are looking at it, the amount of people looking for that product or card, whatever it may be. As opposed to a stock, they could just sell it anytime during the week and transfer it to their account, and then have the money at that market price. They don't have to worry about, this stock's at 170, but if I want to sell it today, I have to sell it at 160 or 150. Like, no, the bid and the ask are right there, for a high volume and high liquidity stock. And most blue chips, obviously you have some stocks or things which have a lower supply, where the bid and the ask are separated more, of what someone's willing to buy versus what someone's willing to sell at. So, the more people you have in the market, the tighter that spread is. So, they don't have to worry about their stock, having to sell it for 10, 15% less just to sell it today or right now or this hour or this minute or this second. I need to sell all my booster boxes this second. They should have been gone yesterday. You can't do that with the booster box. You can. You could go try there, go stand at Walmart or at the gas station with a case of booster boxes and say, hey, I'm trying to sell this special, and have a sign flipping board and be flipping it with booster boxes here. You're carrying around like one of those red wagons and sign flipping booster boxes, have a case of booster boxes. That'd be pretty funny. You're driving around and or it's a food cart and a booster box cart and like a sealed product cart. It's a new business idea. Ooh, so you have the food cart in front, then the wagon attached in back. You're flipping a sign as well that says food, snacks, and booster boxes and sealed products. And you're mobile. A mobile food and sealed product and booster box sealed box empire. You're just walking down the street selling food and booster boxes. It's the new craze. I swear. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages and bots of all programming languages, HTML, Java, C++, Flash, whoever you are, whatever you are. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.